Analytics behind eFarm. The data which we capture, we also analyze it and publish it out periodically so that people can take decisions based on analyzed information. Let's look at some of the interesting statistics which we have been able to publish. One of the simplest analytics is to show what is all people are searching for, and in a quick something called as a tag cloud, we can show you visually so that you can make a quick analysis to say that which is the number one searched product. So anybody can quickly figure out that it is tomato. So we use color and size to quickly show percentage of what is being searched for, so that people can quickly see how many people search for it, where all did they search from, and who are the people who search for these products, so that way they can directly connect to the buyers or the sellers for further details. We can also drill down and show you specific percentage of people who are searching for a particular product, so both from the farmer side, from the buyer side, and also from the supplier side. Another key statistic which is very critical for anybody in this industry is to know the exact demand and supply. There is a lot of wastage which is currently happening because people do not know what is the exact demand or who is the person who is requiring for a particular product. Now that we have both the buyer and the seller's information, we are now able to publish out the exact information about the tonnages of the demand which is currently available. You can also look at the future state and the current state, and you can map it nicely in a graph so that the demand versus supply, if it comes out in a graph, anything which is on the axis, it is evenly matched. Anything which is more odd either indicates there is too much of demand or too little demand, in which case you can anticipate a price rise or a price drop. So that way we can quickly suggest to farmers any changes to their current patterns, or people who are dealing with farmers who are in the positions of providing them advice can start looking at these graphs, which is a very simple way to start looking at where the industry is growing or what exactly the buyers are buying. And we also keep track of how many farmers and how many buyers are registered in our system, because as you know, statistically we are not having all the farmers registered in the system as of yet. So that way, if you're looking at a particular area, we can also tell you based on government statistics how many total number of farmers are there in that particular state or district, and amongst them how many have registered in the system. So that way there's a certain amount of scale involved, and as we increase our registrations, you will see that the system, what it is predicting and what is in reality, will get more and more closer. So right now you will see sometimes there is a subtle skew because our own registration activity is yet to keep pace with the actual situation. But these graphs, as we go forward, will give indicators which are very essential for anybody doing planning for demand and supply based predictions. We also give you an exact status of raw information which you can look at, so product wise and material wise or variety wise, across all the products which we currently have. So we have more than 200 different basic categories, and within each category 10 to 15 different varieties. So that way we are covering most of the vegetables, fruits and exotic items. We are also covering flowers, herbs, and very soon we are also going to get into dairy products and animal husbandry products. So the list is going to be expanding as we speak, and for all of these items you can get to have an exact current scenario of how many farmers and how many buyers are currently registered to using that particular product, and what is the tonnage or the requirement which they have exposed. So that way, and also the area under cultivation, which gives anybody an exact specification of what is the productivity which the farmers are currently having. So this kind of statistic is very crucial even for government, because this is maintained live. Our call centers keep the information live, and the customers also periodically log in to update the information, which is a lot more useful, because anything which is statistically done, say once in 10 years based on census, is often not accurate, which is why often the government itself feels a lot of situations where it is suddenly having to make last minute decisions on prices or making some corrections. Also, as we know that the availability of a product often changes with time. So in a very simple scenario, we would like to capture what is the availability of tomato over time. So by aggregating all the farmers' information and what is their dates of harvest and when they are currently seeding and all that, so now we can very interestingly see availability of tomato changing with time. So from very simple economic principles, we know that when there is too much supply of tomato, which typically happens because all the farmers who are typically based on rain fed, they all go for seeding at the same time, there are sudden increases and sudden drops. So these are times when the market sees a huge fluctuation. The way to now correct this information is to start sharing this information with the growers and also with the buyers, so that even buyers such as food processors can start absorbing this excess capacity, so that farmers at least get some minimum price even when the market shifts very extremely, and also to avoid complete drops. So that way some of the farmers can be advised, especially the progressive farmers who are using some modern techniques, to start staggering some of their production and production dates, so that they can start fill in these gaps, so that the end consumers do not see a huge variation, but somewhat the variations start coming down to something which is absorbable.